Hello?
Tom. Yeah, it's time for a review.
Oh, but I thought it was holiday time.
What? Haven't you seen the clock?
What do you mean, the clock? Oh, jeez. Well, if we're well into work time, does that mean it's my review?
No. You just need to roll the review dice so we can work out whose turn it is to do a review.
That was the introduction to a review of a game called No Thanks, a game that says it was invented by Thorsten Gimler. Invented, like it was cooked up in a lab or fermented over a period of several years. It's not new, it's not game-changing, it's not the best thing ever, but I love it, and I recommend it. Boom, right there, at the start of the video.
Listen.
This game is very simple. You have a deck of cards and you don't want any of them because every single card in this game is worth negative that many points. So when the first card gets flipped and you look at it and you decide you don't want it, well, you've got to say no thanks. But to say no thanks, you've got to put a little counter on it. And ooh, that counter you just spent, that was worth 1 point. You've just spent 1 point and all you've done is say no thanks. And then it's the next player's turn and they say no thanks and put a little counter on it. And then it's the next player's turn and they say no thanks and put a little counter on it. And then it's the next player's turn and they say no thanks and put a little counter on it. But then it gets to your turn and maybe you think I should say yes please, because maybe taking 20 negative points is worth 6 positive points. That just does not make maths though. Why would you just always say no thanks and never ever say yes please? Well, what happens when you run out of tokens? Well, when you've got no tokens, you have to say yes please, and oh no, you might be the player that's left to take the 35. Ah! This clown just took the 35 and no thanks. He's dying over here. This guy's hurting for points. He's down pretty bad. He's losing. But wait, there's one weird trick that might just help him out. If you get a 20 card, that card is worth negative 20 points, unless you make a run. If you have a 20, a 19, an 18, and a 17, that full run is only worth the lowest card. It's only worth 17 negative points, which means you've always got a chance to make your score a little bit better if another player doesn't snap up that card first, or that card was never in the game to begin with, because 9 cards are randomly removed at the start of the game. Oh no. And there it is, that's all the rules, but those rules are greater than the sum of their parts, bubbling up into a game that is packed with uncertainty, tension, and laughter as the one card that you're missing gets increasingly unlikely to even be in the deck, or even worse, the person next to you guzzles up the card that you want, and you're left with fewer and fewer tokens in your hands. And speaking of hands, I think one of the most special things about No Thanks is the fact that because there are no screens or anything to hide your secret tokens in, you have to keep them clasped inside your clammy hands. Which A, provides great moments of assessing people's body language and relative hand tenseness to work out how many tokens they have left and if they might be out, but also B, makes your hands kinda clammy. There's a tactile roughness to assessing how many of these tokens you have left in your hand. And then eventually you open your hand to bid and oh god, oh awful, not again, it's all gross in there. It's a little thing, but it's unique and goes a long way to enforce the quite childish quality of the game, forcing you to play from your gut as you feel what tokens are left. Which is great, because the best thing about No Thanks is that it is myopic, it is spiteful, it is silly. This is not a game that is cold and calculating, it's petty and it's mischievous. So much joy comes from so few components. All you've got in here are some cards, some tokens, and a manual. How did he get in there? If you're looking for something small, peppy, light, fun, and dumb, you should absolutely give this a whirl, because it's so cheap and so easy to teach, it can be taught to basically anyone. And listen, I know I've barely talked about the actual strategy in this game, but come on, don't spoiler the little tricks, the little gambles. They'll figure that out themselves. No Thanks is just prime quality filler. It is a great game. It is a great pub game. It is the perfect game to sit down and chill out and crack open a few cans with the boys.